What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Chris Abercon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So welcome to Tuesday's episode. So Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursday's Ask a CISSP. And then Friday's everything else, movies, books, games, all that cool stuff. Thank you for tuning in, as you always do, and supporting us. Please make sure you go to theothersideofthefirewall.com or ramcyber.io and pick up the book of the same name, right? So you can, both support me as a fledgling indie author, self-published through Ram Cyber, but also it's an interesting perspective on those interviews and how they tie into the breaking in, and as well as the inspirations for why people were able to get into cyber and then thrive within it. So definitely check that out. But without further ado, I'll give you to Shannon.
All right, everybody. This article comes from theblock.co. Written by R.T. Watson. And the title of this one is Coinbase Aids Federal Agents in Seizing $225 million in Stolen Crypto, Exchange says. So Coinbase went out there, right, and ended up assisting Secret Service, right? So for those of you who don't know, Secret Service does more than just protect, the president or cabinet officials when they go out and they're traveling outside of their homes and whatnot. But they also have a little bit to do when it comes to, I think they do, like the fraudulent, like money not laundering.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Is
it
like
white collar crimes? I think they do work on that.
They fall under the Department of the Treasury is where they're based out of. So
it's kind of weird sometimes. Like if you don't know that that's what they actually do, when you see U.S. Secret Service and some of these, you're like, what are they doing outside of the White House? You know what I mean? But that's what they do, right? So, but Coinbase said they played a key role in helping claw back $225 million in stolen crypto funds, right? So the funds they're talking about, it's USDT, which is Tether, right? That's the symbol for Tether crypto, which apparently they're trying to tie to the US dollar. I think I remember seeing this. It was a little while ago. I remember seeing this where it seemed like they were trying to seriously get into the game of crypto being tied to US currency. And it's kind of weird to me still because of how it can fluctuate. I mean, neither here nor there. I guess the dollar itself fluctuates, right, with different going-ons in the financial institution. This one, I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet with crypto to tie it like that. But some people are like, yeah, it's good stuff, right? It'll work for me, right? They've made their money if they got in early on Bitcoin. So to them, they're like, oh no, it's the best thing smoking, right? But I don't know. But anyway, to get back on track, right? But yeah, they were helping recover the USDT in self-custodial wallets, and they were saying that this money was linked to human trafficking and pig butchering scams, right? So Coinbase, they're one of the larger crypto companies in the United States, right? They did on-chain to identify victims eligible for restitution as well, which is a good thing, right? I guess. So if you got scammed out of your money, they were there to help the Secret Service get your money back for you. Whether or not you got it all, I don't know, right? Because the $225 million, I imagine that's a fraction of what has been fraudulently out there. But it's
how many Lambos were purchased before that?
Correct.
Exactly, right. So unless you can trace those and repo those and get money for those as well, right, to return to the folks, I don't think it's going to happen. But they said how they aided the U.S. Secret Service in their investigation, right? So they traced millions. They did the tracing of it to the illicit wallets. They're telling people now, if you believe yourself a victim and had your money stolen, you can file a claim with the FBI Internet Crimes Complaint Center, and you can get some money back. But I mean, good for the people that were scammed out of their money. I guess hopefully it's a lesson learned for them, right? Not to fall for these scams where you can get your money taken from you. But we'll see what the future holds on this. But Chris, what's your thoughts, man?
Kind of my first thoughts were just kind of the tactics this group, people were using to try to, really scam people out. So the first thing is, piloting pig butchering, right? Pig butchering, right, involves, according to some of the links in the articles, right, techniques involving pretending to be successful crypto traders on social media and then convincing people to set up accounts and then make investments with them and then supposedly make up some returns, right? So really, the fact that these are
considered a romance scam.
Yeah, romance scams. So it's pretending to be somebody they're not. Right. So if it's, impersonating a social influencer or something like that, somebody that's really popular, maybe an attractive female or something like that, that's, showing herself off in some type of luxury car, let's just say a Lambo, right?
Gotta have that Lambo.
It's always like, follow the Lambo, right?
Right.
But anyway, it gives these unsuspecting victims, some type of reason to, influence to spend some money or, move their wallets over, do whatever it might be so they can get some type of return. And then that's how they get their, they get their money, right? And the fact that it's like a human trafficking organization, right, actually makes you think like, wow, it's they could just be using some of the women that they're trafficking for some of these scams. Like, hey, I need your picture now, right? So I'm just kind of thinking about what they're doing to really get people to pay up, right? And there's some people that are so very easily influenced that it's just pretty sad to me, right? To really what I'm trying to say is just be careful out there. Don't trust what you see or who randomly adds you, right? I know a lot of you guys have social media listening in, right? So especially on Instagram, you'll see these crypto people just trying to follow you and request, or if you're on private, and then they'll try to get you to follow them back, and then they'll follow up with some kind of message or whatever. And also a lot of these messages are just like straight up spam, right? You're getting them all over the place, because on your email, on your phone number, or your text, right? You'll think it's somebody legitimate, right? But it's really not.
The thing with it, though, Chris, is it's not as hard as it may seem to be, right? So, like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the TV show Catfish on MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it's anything new. Like, you could take photos from the internet. Like, these people that may be the legitimate people on social media, they have their photos out there. They're easy to get a hold of, and then you could you change one word in a profile or something, or in a screen name, or change a letter or something, and then you're that person if they're not paying attention. But they're enamored with you, right? They're following you for your crypto advice, so they're like, oh,
yeah. And one thing that also strikes me is some of these scam accounts have like almost as many followers as the real accounts, right? So what they'll do is if you got like, a certain market, like 10K, 11K followers or whatever, you'll think that they may be legit. But chances are those are just bots that, somebody created to like those specific accounts so that they can, maintain that level of legitimacy, supposedly, right? Based on their amount of followers that they have. But a lot of people just buy off these followers, right? Some people are stuck at, if you ever notice, some people like they'll be stuck at a certain percentage of, or a certain number of followers their entire time, like for years. Like, to me, that says, hey, look, this guy's content's not really going anywhere. It's just, guess what? He's probably just paying for these followers, or she's just paying for these followers, right? So, really, again, it's hypervigilance is what I'm thinking. Just be vigilant if you are in crypto, right? There is anything financial, there is an inherent need and want to steal. That's just how it is. That's how the game is. And that's kind of the crypto world, right? Like, we were saying that the last podcast, like 27 million, one guy had in his crypto wallet, from being criminal activities, right? Unfortunately, with, the secrecy of crypto, it does tend to attract this type of market, this type of people. So all I'm saying is be vigilant, guys.
It's their preferred currency, man. It's crypto.
Absolutely. But Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this reminds me of an episode we had with Michael Ware, so Ware. So when Michael was on the episode, he specifically wanted to talk about pick butchering and how it's kind of blown up over time, right? And it's not only people, like a lot of it is the Ponzi scheme, right? Like, hey, give me your money. Oh, you made this much money. Would you like to make more money? And kind of you have that carrot and the stick, right? Like, you're pulling people in, you're promising an amount to increase, and then you show that increase, whether it be because you have somebody else's money that you're playing around with, or you're falsifying documents to show like, hey, you've earned 50% on this, 80%, like something ridiculous. But also on the back end, what he was talking about was that when people are caught within the scheme, some of them fall victim and have to become the perpetrator as well, right? So you have people who have given away explicit pictures or some other type of personal information, and now they're being blackmailed. So now they've become a part of the Ponzi scheme, and now they have to be part of that pyramid and sell as well. So you'll have people who are being human trafficked in that regard, who are now selling whatever this hype or this dream is. So it's very, very interesting, like the underbelly of it and how it works. So it's good to see that Coinbase was actually able to claw some of the money back. But ultimately, I hope they shut down these syndicates or these Ponzi schemes and get the people out, because it's pretty crazy how, because like when you get those, not just pig butchering, but like when you get those scam calls, some of those are coming from facilities that are housing people, right? And they're making them like they've taken their passports and not allowed them to leave and things of that nature, and they're making them, sell, sell, sell. And that's not to tug at your heartstrings to give them any money, right? Like you want to deprive them so it doesn't become lucrative. But at the same time, some of those people are captive, which is crazy. It's the world's crazy. So like there's nothing new under the sun. However, just their ability to quickly do this and contact people is becoming faster and faster. You don't have to wait for that snail mail to reach you saying that, there's a lien on your house, but it's really not. Now they can just directly fire off phone calls and emails to try to convince you to click that link or to provide that information. It's dangerous out there. So definitely, be cautious. I'm not big into crypto. Like I have a couple coins here and there just because I like to play around. But I would caution you because it's easier to track down paper currency than it is digital currency, right? Like this, the whole thing is the blockchain and it's supposed to be autonomous and yada yada yada. Like cold hard cash has serial numbers. All right. So not trying to prop up the economy by saying that. I'm just trying to say like it's probably safer for you to keep some dollars under your mattress than some coins in your crypto wallet at this point until things get a little bit safer out there, right? Or invest it into your Lambo, right?
That's
Like
right.
buy your now later green Lambo and save it there. But that's pretty much it for this episode. Definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Hit us up at the websites that go by our name, theothersideofthefirewall.com or ramcyber.io. Definitely check out the book, which Michael Ware is in, right? So if you want to hear more about his story, his background, his experience, it's in the guide you can purchase from theothersideofthefirewall.com. Hit us up personally. I'm RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much everywhere, but LinkedIn is where I'm most active. And what about you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abicon, last name spelled A-Bacon.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.